Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be presenting the class on how to do a proper pat search. Pat search is a technique used by correctional officers and by police officers to check a person that they may have in custody, a person they may have detained, to make sure they don't have anything dangerous on them or any illegal substances or illegal packages that they may not need to have. It can be performed in a correctional facility, or it can be performed on the road by a patrol officer, either outside their patrol car or in another secure area. So the first step to doing a pet search is finding a good, secure, and safe area. In a correctional facility, there's a area that is designated just for that purpose. It has a large desk and counter, so you can have the person place their hands on the counter, and it's also in a wide area away from other people, so you don't have other people in the way. And on top of that, it has a video camera watching that area to record and monitor what's going on. For a officer on patrol, many times they use the either rear or the front of their vehicles to do a search, so that way they can be out of the way, they can be off the road into a safe place, and also they use their body cameras to record what's going on with the pat search. There are many different kinds of searches. You can do a strip search, you can do a pat search, you can do a cavity search, but those things are mostly not done in a correctional facility or on patrol on the road. They usually do what's called a pat search. So the first step to doing a pat search, after you find a safe area to do the pat search in, you're going to need to communicate with the person that you're searching. You need to let that person know that you will be searching them, that you will be going in their pockets, that you will be touching them, to ensure not only your own safety but their safety as well. Once you have this properly communicated, tell that person to place their hands either on the counter or place their hands on the vehicle, lean forward, and spread their legs slightly apart. Once they are in this position, what you'll do is you'll go to one side of the person, you'll place one leg in between the person's leg and the other leg on the outside of that person's leg. And this is a position where you want to begin your search. And the reason you're beginning your search like this is to make sure that you have balance and that you have leverage in case that person becomes combative and wants to fight with you. Once you're in proper position, what you'll do is you'll start at the collar of the person's clothing, and you'll start to pat with your fingers along the collar to see whether or not there's anything inside the collar or anything underneath the collar. Once you do that, you will start to rub your hand down the front of the person's shirt, down the person's sleeve, and on the person's back. And you're also feeling for anything that may not have been taken out of the person's pockets. You'll do the same thing on the other side of the person's shirt. You go down the person's shirt, you go down their collar, the front of the shirt, and the back of the shirt. Once that's completed, you'll ask the person, do they have anything in their pockets that might poke or stick you? People sometimes have knives, sometimes people have needles, they have all kinds of different things, and if you go inside their pockets, you can be potentially cut or stuck by these items. So once you confirm that they don't have anything in their pockets that may be dangerous, you go ahead and go into their pockets and you empty all the contents of the pockets onto the counter or onto the hood of the car, so that way you can examine it later, or if they're in the facility, it can later be cataloged. Once that's done, you're going to start with the person's pants. With the person's pants, you're going to rub your hands around the waistband of the person's pants. You're looking for anything that may be inside that waistband or anything connected to that waistband. Then you will run your hands down one leg of the person's pants all the way down to the person's ankles. Make sure that you run your hands back up. You need to have your palms facing out, so that way you can feel if anything is not supposed to be there. Once you get to that point, to make sure that you go inside the person's crotch area, but you're only going to do that briefly and lightly, and you're going to make the person aware that you're about to do this before you do it. Once you complete on one side, you're going to switch your position, put your foot in between the person's leg, move to the other side of the person, and you're going to do the same thing for the other side of the person. All the way down the collar, front, back of the shirt, sleeves, the waistband, and the person's legs. Once this is completed, you'll ask the person to remove their shoes and hand their shoes to you one at a time. Once you have their shoes, you're going to take their shoes, you're going to check their shoes out, you're going to search through their shoes, lift up their insoles, make sure nothing's in their shoes, then place their shoes to the side. Now you're going to ask the person to remove their socks one at a time and turn them inside out, but do not shake them. Once they turn the socks inside out, they're going to hand them to you. You'll search the socks and then place them to the side. Once you are confirmed that there's nothing in the socks and nothing in the shoes, you can return the socks and the shoes to the person. After this, your initial pat search should be complete. When it's complete, if you're in a correctional facility, you're going to find a secure location for that person to go, and you're going to place that person in that location. If you're on patrol, if you're on the road, then what you'll do is, if you're going to be detaining that person or placing that person into custody, you'll go ahead and secure that person with handcuffs and place them in the back of your vehicle. If you're going to be releasing that person, then you'll give that person all of their property back and release that person. In the correctional facility, once you get all the person's property, their property has to be cataloged and it has to be stored so they can get it whenever they leave the facility. One thing that needs to be taken into consideration is the sex of the person that you're patting down. If you are the same sex as the person that you're patting down, make sure to let them know that you're patting down and go ahead and pat them down. If it's the opposite sex, if you can't find, you need to try to find somebody of the same sex of the person so they can assist in patting them down. If you cannot find somebody that's the same sex as the person, then you need to have another officer present with you while you pat that person down. It's imperative, especially on patrol, that you use your body cameras to record whatever's going on. And that body camera is just like the camera that's inside the facility, and it's used to review the procedure that's going on to make sure everything was done correctly and that you didn't miss anything. And it's also used whenever somebody tries to have false allegations of harassment against an officer for being patted down. These things are very important. The pat down process is very important for the safety of the officer and for the safety of the person being searched. Thank you very much.